everybody for coming out on this brisk morning. My name is Susan Swecker, S-W-E-C-K-E-R, and I'm the chairwoman of the Democratic Party of Virginia. And I understand for those of you that are attending the Attorney General's event that you need to be in place by 9:30, so I'm going to keep this short and simple this morning. Jeff Sessions misled the Senate Judiciary Committee about his meetings with the Russian ambassador, and for that alone, he should resign as Attorney General of the United States. He does not deserve the title of our nation's top law enforcement officer if he does not respect the rule of law and the legitimate national security concerns that have been raised about the extent of Donald Trump's connection to Russia. Now, I have standing here with me today State Senator Rosalind Dance, Delegate Doris McQuinn, Delegate Jeff Bourne, and is Betsy Carr here? I'm going to ask Delegate Dolores McQuinn to come up next to further explain why Jeff Sessions should resign as Attorney General.
Thank you, and thank you for coming in. Thank you. Again, my name is Dolores McQuinn. I represent the 7th District in the Virginia House of Delegates. Jeff Sessions will soon be speaking on the floor about public safety and law enforcement. Yet we have serious questions about his ability to protect our national security and enforce the rule of law, given the fact he failed to tell the truth to the Senate Judiciary Committee about his meeting with Russian ambassadors. That by itself is enough cause to demand Jeff Sessions' resignation. Furthermore, Donald Trump has deliberately stoked racial tension to divide this nation. Now more than ever, we need leaders who will unite us. In the 1980s, Jeff Sessions abused his power and deliberately intimidated black voters in an attempt to suppress their fundamental rights to vote. This is not an individual who deserves to hold the position as Attorney General of the United States. If Jeff Sessions was too racist to serve as a federal judge 30 years ago, he is too racist to serve as Attorney General today. We are in a political climate that has determined that racist statements, ideology, and actions are acceptable. These are factors in this political climate that fan flames of hate and intolerance against many of our citizens. But they are unacceptable and very dangerous. Why? Because this kind of attitude and leadership undermines the American values of freedom, justice, and accepting of diversity in race, culture, gender, sexual orientation, and religion. American citizens of every walk of life have committed unprecedented amount of time for decades in attempting to ensure that we live in a country that believes equal rights and justice is the only means of attaining our greatness. Attorney Jeff Sessions has been selected as the highest law enforcement officer in the land is contrary to that belief. His extreme views is in question as his willingness to represent all Americans. His position further reveals a mounting leadership in this administration that is inadequate in their ability to serve all citizens in an unbiased leadership position. Mr. Sessions, please do us all a public service by owning up to your history, from your attempt to intimidate black voters to your refusal to tell the truth to the Judiciary Committee about your contact with Russian officials, and step down from this highest office of the land, Attorney General of the United States. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As we all know, the Attorney General of the United States of America, Jeff Sessions, is in the building or shortly will be here to speak with law enforcement officials, and that's a good thing. However, I was extremely disappointed to learn today that Virginia's top law enforcement officer, Mark Herring, did not get his invite, which is so disappointing because we know that our Virginia Attorney General here has fought and done the job in the way that we expect him to do, which is to respect the law and make sure that everyone is treated equally and fairly, regardless of the God you pray to, regardless of the color of your skin, your neighborhood, or who you love. Unfortunately, Mr. Sessions does not share those values, which are truly foundational to Virginia and to America. While Mark Herring and the rest of the country was fighting and trying to protect voting rights, Mr. Sessions was taking aim at the Voting Rights Act. He was taking aim at the Violence Against Women Act. And why? Why would he help block desperately needed prison reforms and prison sentencing? My constituents have real concerns about whether we have an Attorney General who is truly committed to the rights of all Americans, and I share those concerns. I sincerely hope that Mr. Sessions will quit playing politics and emulate a true champion of the people and uphold justice, equality, and opportunity for every single American. Thank you.
Morning. As state senator, I represent about 200,000 people. They are Democrats, Republicans, Independents. They are people that live in the state of Virginia. As leaders, when we accept positions, once the race is over, we govern. And when we govern, we need to make sure that we provide them leadership that will represent all of the people. And it is a concern in any party. We forget that basic responsibility that we have as leaders to represent all the people. There are great people that are Democrats, Republicans, and Independents that believe that they should represent all the people. And I believe that there are those that could be found to come forward and take over such a responsible position as the Attorney General, and that this is not, indeed not, that person as evidenced by his resume, by his record, because that's what we look for leaders. We look at their skills, knowledge, and abilities, their track records to do the job. And the track record does not reflect that this is the best that America has to offer. And we need to find one that does. And this president, no matter who he is, can find that person if he indeed wishes to try. And that's all I have to say on behalf of the people of Virginia. Thank all of you all for coming this morning.